in this particular session, what we will be doing is, Acha, this session is very important for you people, huh? Don't take it lightly. So in this session, what we will try to do is, see, you already have got the resources in your hand. If you are the student of GS Foundation 2024. Now, my task right now will be is to make you understand that how to use all those resources in the most effective manner. Ultimately, the game of UPSC is very simple. That you should be able to use the resources at hand in the most effective manner. So this session will be very important for you people, those who are registered in GS Foundation 2024 ka course. So please try to be attentive in this particular session. So my idea of this session is to convey you three things. First thing is, I will be telling you the sources which you need to follow. Second thing is, which will be very important, and that will be the utility of those sources. And the third thing which I will be addressing in this session is the tentative daily schedule which you should follow. Okay. So one by one we will be talking about on these aspects. Now, before we start, sir and ma'am, let me introduce in front of you the 9 elements of UPSC CSE preparation which you can't miss. If you are missing any of one of them, now you are out of the race for sure. So if I am talking about UPSC CSE preparation, let me mind you, I am not counting interview right now here. That we will look separately jab right time aayega tab. As of now, if I am talking about UPSC CSE preparation, there are 3 important components of this preparation. See, ultimately coming to the sources, understanding the requirement of UPSC is very important. Okay. So, first thing is prelims. First component is prelims. Second component is mains. And your third component is optional. Now, if I talk about any one of them, if I talk about prelims, this prelims will have again 3 things: sources, revision, and practice. I generally call it SRP. And these 3 elements will not be valid only for prelims, but this will be valid also for your mains. You will be having some sources, then you will be revising those sources, then you will be practicing those sources, right? Same thing you have to do for optional also, SRP. So sir and ma'am, these are the 9 important elements of UPSC. अगर आप इसमें से एक भी मिस कर रहे हैं, if you are missing out on any one of them, you will be out of the race for sure. You have to tackle all of them before your final D-Day. Okay. So these are the 9 elements of UPSC CSE. Now understand one thing, that if I am talking about one component of prelims, there are 3 important elements. First is sources, second is your revision, third is practice. अगर ये 3 अलग अलग चीज हैं तो there will be some different utility of each of them. सबकी अलग अलग utility होगी. So let's try to understand the utility now of all 3 of them. First is sources. Second is revision. Third is practice. Let me mind you again, I am trying to just decode the UPSC CSE preparation in front of you. आधे से ज्यादा बच्चे इसीलिए तकलीफ में रहते हैं कि उनको अपने सोर्सेज की यूटिलिटी नहीं पता होती. अरे फॉर वन थिंग यू आर रीडिंग 6 थिंग्स, For polity, you are reading NCRT, you are reading Lakshmikant, then class note, then prelims note, then mains note, then current affair, then some XYZ things for the single subject. That is what you are doing. Now, if you are not, see, I'm not saying that these should not be done. I'm not saying this at all. But I'm saying just a simple thing, that if you're not able to understand the utility of all of them, that when to use what, then you won't be able to make it through. Okay. So if I'm talking about sources, we will understand this with a simple example. For example, if you are reading Lakshmikant, or let's say if you are reading Spectrum for modern history, then the idea line of this particular book, if I'm talking about Mahatma Gandhi ji, that book will be imparting you the information about Mahatma Gandhi ji, where he was born, what he did in South Africa, what he did in India, how he contributed in India's freedom struggle. So that is the utility of that book, that is to provide you information. Tell me one thing, sir and ma'am, is that enough? Is that enough कि आपको information मिल गई? Is that enough? No. आप एक चीज समझिए, that what UPSC has asked in your mains examination is not about tell us where Mahatma Gandhi ji was born, or tell us what he did in South Africa. UPSC has asked you questions on different lines, that tell us the contemporary relevance of teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. Tell us what would have been the outcome if Mahatma Gandhi ji would not have been there in the India's freedom struggle. So ultimately, you can't use these sources to write your answers, because they are not exam oriented. They are not exam oriented. They will provide you information, but they are not exam oriented. Take the example of Lakshmikant. Do you think that after reading Lakshmikant you can answer the mains question? If you think so, you are very much wrong. And if you want the justification, just open the chapter of let's say judiciary. Try to write down the answer, or maybe the points on challenges being faced by judiciary. You will get the answer. So ultimately, that book has to be read, but from the sense of information. Now, I use the word of exam orientation. That exam orientation will not be provided from those information sources. Ultimately, what you will do, or what toppers has done. Let us take the example of toppers. What they have done is, they might have made their own notes. अब उन्होंने बना ली क्योंकि उनके पास टाइम था, उनके पास गाइडेंस थी, and they know what they are doing. But you don't have that liberty to make those notes right now, because you don't have the time. You have to tackle all these 9 components of UPSC CSE preparation in next few months. Sir and ma'am, you just have few months until January. जनवरी के बाद वाला टाइम भूल जाओ, you will be preparing for prelims. उसके बाद वाला टाइम भूल जाओ, you will be preparing for mains. You just have time till January. So you can't invest your time in making the notes, right? You can't invest your time in converting your sources to the exam oriented revision notes. You don't have liberty. And even if you have that liberty, I can say one thing very proudly, that you won't be able to make revision notes better than what we have provided you. So the ideal line of revision notes is to convert this information into exam orientation, right? So for this, I will come, that what you will be referring for this, I will come to that, right? Don't worry. Now the third idea line is of practice. If prelims, you need to practice MCQs. If mains, answer writing. And if I talk about optional, आपको optional की practice करनी है. So this is the separate ball game. The idea line of practice. Utility क्या है? Utility of the practice is to assess your preparation level. What you will be doing is, you will be assessing your preparation level. And sir and ma'am, what this will do is, this will validate. This will say, okay, you are on the right track, or else this will say that you are not on the right track. This is the utility of practice tests. अच्छा, अभी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए you will be referring sources. For exam orientation, your foundation course already comprises two things. First thing is your prelims revision notes, and second thing is your mains GS books. Sir and ma'am, understand one thing. See, I will come to the sources for sure, but understanding this element of the preparation, this particular web of the preparation is very important, very very important. अगर आपको एक बार में निकालना है तो, इस बार में निकालना है तो अब एक चीज समझो, that information is coming from sources. Will you be using that information in the final exam? Answer is no. Will you be using these revision things in your final exam? Answer is yes. Ultimately, whatever you will be revising, whether it for prelims or mains, you will be able to utilize it in the final exam. You will be able to write good answers from your revision sources. You will be able to, if you are able to write good answers, it will turn into marks, and your marks will turn into rank. उस rank से आप IAS बनोगे. So that is how these are important. ठीक है. So doing sources will give you the information, but you should be focusing upon your revision tools also along with your sources. कैसे करना है? Don't worry, I will tell you. Now, coming to the part कैसे करना है, the idea line is, see, we will be finalizing the sources. Please don't confuse on that line. Allow me some time. Just allow me some time. You will be very comfortable at the end of the video. So, करना कैसे है? See, since source is imparting you the information, that source should be consumed for the simple sake that you are understanding the concepts. You will use the source to improve your understanding level. Now, if you are able to improve your understanding level, then you will be able to revise the things in much better sense. अगर आप समझेंगे नहीं अच्छे से, आप सिर्फ रट्टा मारते रह जाएंगे. अगर किसी को ये पता ही नहीं है कि महात्मा गांधी जी कौन थे, राइट, इफ समवन हैज नॉट हर्ड अबाउट महात्मा गांधी जी, कुछ नहीं पता उनको, तो द philosophy of remembering the the idea line of remembering the philosophies of Mahatma Gandhi ji, of maybe non-violence, truthfulness, believe in masses, all those things will be rectified by that person because he don't understand Mahatma Gandhi. Are you getting my point? So these sources should be read only from the understanding perspective. Whenever you are reading these sources, your mind should not be in the phase that I have to remember anything. No, not at all. That is not the utility of those sources. Sources should be read as if you have to understand the things. समझने के लिए पढ़िए sources को, ठीक है? So this will give you information, and this, from this you will understand. You will understand. Now, these will be your revision sources. There will be two utilities of these revision sources. First thing is, they will help you in factual component. You need to revise them again and again in order to memorize the factual component, be it for prelims or for mains. For mains, you have to memorize data, committees, facts, case studies, best practices, etc., etc. For prelims, you have to remember facts again. You have seen the UPSC prelims 2023 ka paper, right? Now, first is factual, second is analytical. When you will be going through your main GS books, now this idea will be very clear to you. How you are dividing the topics into the structure, analysis. Reasons पूछें तो कैसे economic, social, political, you can break the reason into those subheadings, analysis. That will be done by revision. Ab, if you are doing your information source for one time, you will at least do your revision source for 4 times. 1:4. Now, there will be a doubt. Please be attentive. There will be a doubt from many. And many aspirants do this mistake, that they will first read the स्टैंडर्ड सोर्सेज, देन दे विल लीव दैट सर मैंने लक्ष्मीकांत के ना नोट्स बना लिए हैं, अब मेरे को उसको पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग, even if you have made the notes out of Lakshmikant, the understanding which Lakshmikant will give you won't be provided by your short notes. And this examination is a deadly combination of both understanding and the factual and analytical components. So there should be a cycle, let me repeat, there should be a cycle of 3 months or 4 months after which you should be referring your standard sources again and again, despite of having these revision sources. And these revision sources should be tackled in a fashion that you have to consolidate any information out of any sources to these revision sources itself. And since you are the student of foundation batch, your revision sources are very well defined. You need not to waste even a minute on the revision sources because we have provided you these things in your foundation ka batch. ठीक है? So assessing the preparation level, this will be validating the things. You have your weekly tests of mains and daily MCQs, right? So this is the utility, and that is how you need to go about these 9 elements, 3 each for prelims, mains and optional. Okay, moving ahead, on sources I will show you the final sources. See, that is how you are getting your lectures. You might have got the schedule of your lectures, right? In that schedule itself, be it you are in the May batch or June batch or July batch or August batch, आप किसी भी batch में हो, you are getting this class schedule. Beside that only, see, this is your source now. This is your source. This is your revision. And we are tackling practice also, daily MCQs, weekly 2 mains answers you are writing in the live class. That is how we are tackling all the 9 components in your GS foundation course. But you should be aware about the fact that, you know, this is how you have to deal with them. I hope I am making some sense. Now we will talk upon the sources, कि what sources you have at hand, कि क्या क्या फॉलो करना है. अल्टीमेट क्वेश्चन तो यही है बच्चों का कि क्या क्या फॉलो करना है, क्या किताबें आपको खरीदनी हैं. तो सिर्फ 10 सेकंड में मैं इसको खत्म कर देता हूं. यू नीड नॉट टू रेफर एनी सोर्स, एनी स्टैंडर्ड बुक अदर देन 2 बुक्स. लेट मी रिपीट, you need not to refer any book other than 2 standard books. One is Lakshmikant, second is Spectrum. That is it. कैसे और क्या रेशनल है, we will see now, subject by subject. Revision sources are well defined. Sunya IAS prelims notes, Sunya IAS main GS books. You will get the page numbers along with the lectures. That is how you have to follow those revision source. Multiple revisions. Practice में weekly 2 mains questions, PYQs, daily MCQs. These you are getting now. There will be a customized test series for you. There will be a customized test series for the people of आपका prelims, which we will be providing you in the same course. Now there will be an extra component of mains test series which will be optional, and you can pay the fee and get that yourself registered, but not now. Don't even do the mistake of joining this test series, and I will post a video on the same, that why I am saying so. Everything is very rational. ठीक है, हम लोग सोच के बोल रहे हैं जो भी बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है. तो मेंस टेस्ट सीरीज अभी नहीं ज्वाइन करना है. यू हैव टू ज्वाइन दिस मेंस टेस्ट सीरीज after 3 or 3.5 months of your foundation course, and we will provide you the option that okay, now the registration is open, you please join it as per the classes. अभी आपने कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं है, so there is no utility, just go with your weekly test. Okay, this we will open, then you can join at the right time. So practice की बात नहीं करेंगे, revision की बात नहीं करेंगे. Now we will be using the sources. Sources का फिर से utility बताता हूँ, just to impart you the information, nothing else. Okay, so when I am talking about polity as a subject, you might have option of Lakshmikant, but do you have to read the Lakshmikant along with your foundation classes, should be your question. सर मैं फाउंडेशन के नोट्स के साथ लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ूं, फाउंडेशन की क्लासेस के साथ लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़ूं या नहीं? आंसर इज वेरी सिंपल, नो. सी, ultimately what you are trying to do is you are trying to get the same information. I told you the utility, information from 2 sources. You will end up wasting your time. What you should do, sir and ma'am, is first let all the classes of polity get completed. Then once classes are completed, then go to your Lakshmikant. Until then, invest your time in optional. Until then, invest your time in CSAT if you are having extra. वहाँ use करिए so that you are able to finish up your syllabus very quickly. Don't waste it in Lakshmikant right now. Lakshmikant पढ़नी है, otherwise I would not have mentioned it. We will study that, but at the right time. Once our entire course is finished, we will try to read the Lakshmikant to consolidate our syllabus. That is how we will be using the Lakshmikant. Right time पे पढ़ेंगे, because time is something which you have the constraint. Books तो बहुत सारी हैं. पॉलिटी की बात करूँ तो इतनी सारी बुक्स हैं. डीडी बसु है, ये है, वो है. कुछ नहीं पढ़ना, लक्ष्मीकांत पढ़नी है, लेकिन क्लासेस खत्म होने के बाद. इकोनॉमी में you will come up with many sort of books. Sir, there is no utility of all those books. Economy mein, if the questions are being asked in prelims, then they are either being analytical or conceptual, or else they are from the current affairs. So why you are investing so huge amount of time in those bulky books? No use at all. You will get the conceptual clarity in your foundation classes, and current affairs we will provide you in the monthly current affairs ka notes. You are done. Rest जो भी बच जाएगा, we will see that in prelims का crash course of economy. You will be getting that crash course, right? So have confidence. Don't waste your time. If you have extra time, do message me. I think every one of you have my personal number, right? So only class notes in economy. Then we will talk about modern history. Same logic. Spectrum will be read, but not now. Once you are done with the foundation classes, then you will take up spectrum to just give it a overview. Okay. फाउंडेशन क्लासेस में क्या होगा, समझ लीजिए कि आपकी क्लासेस डेली बेसिस पे होंगी, है ना. तो हो सकता है कहीं ना कहीं आपको स्टोरी लाइन में कुछ क्लैरिटी ना आ पाए. ऑल्दो वी हैव द ग्रेट फैकल्टी हियर ऑफ मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री, राइट, बट इट मे हैपन दैट आपको शायद टाइमलाइन में कुछ इशू आ गया, आप फॉलो नहीं कर पाए क्योंकि यू नो द क्लासेस वर गोइंग ऑन फॉर 2 months. व्हाट यू विल डू, वंस यू आर डन विद द क्लासेस, यू विल टेक अप द स्पेक्ट्रम, यू विल गिव इट अ वन टाइम रीड. दैट इज इट. ओके. सो then we have ancient history first class notes, then NCERT, right, new one that you will follow. Then for modern history, same thing. Art and culture, same thing, 11th NCERT is there. Then geography, 9 to 12th NCERT you will read after finishing your foundation classes. Okay, not now. I think many of you might have read these NCERTs also, because that comes under the phase 1. Now just be attentive, those who might join, you know, at the time of phase 2. What you need to do is you need to understand one thing, that at least for 1 month you will be you know, attending the classes which are basic in nature. So you have the liberty in that first ongoing month to utilize the extra time in completing your Arambh course of NCERT. I have taken the strategy session there, right, how to cover all those NCERTs without notes, without anything, how to get the maximum output, and what is the utility of those NCERTs at this time. We had that session, right? So that is where in the very first month, along with your foundation classes also, you can devote some time there also, if you have it. Okay. Then geography mein one thing is there, that whenever you are reading geography na, you are reading it just from the prelims perspective. But let me introduce a simple fact here, that UPSC is asking around 80 to 100 marks. कितना? 80 से 100 marks का geography in the mains examination, and that is the pain point for 99% of the aspirants. क्या कर रहे होते हैं बच्चे? They remembering the rivers का name, mountains का name, XYZ from the prelims perspective, right or wrong? Prelims में क्या हो रहा है? If UPSC is asking 6 question in prelims examination out of geography, only 2 are from core geography and 4 are from geography mapping. So that is where I have included that separately, geography mapping. For the source of many of the students come to me, sir, source for the geography mapping is Atlas. Sir, Atlas is the reference material. You can't use that. That is not the source, right? That is used for the reference. So there is very good resource available on YouTube for free by Sunya IAS. Those are our geography mapping videos. Just watch them. You will be in love with those videos. ठीक है? Then environment, only class notes. Science and tech, only class notes. No, nothing else. Nothing else. कुछ अगर दिमाग में भी आए ना, just message me over the WhatsApp. For Indian society, class notes. If you have extra time, maybe after the completion of the course, you can have a look to the NCRTs. बहुत अच्छी बुक है इंडियन सोसाइटी की स्पेशली. वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री, गवर्नेंस, सोशल जस्टिस, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, पेरिफेरल टॉपिक्स, the topics which are not generally part of prelims examination. Just rely upon your classes and GS books. Perfect solution. Perfect solution. Okay. And we were talking about geography also. I told you that in geography people generally ignore the geography from the mains perspective. So that is where your GS1 ka geography ka book will help you. We have compiled that in in so exam oriented fashion. अगर आप खोल के देखेंगे आपको पता चलेगा. We have just transformed the geography in those books, right? So then coming to the CSAT, and I think from this year itself CSAT will be considered as a separate subject in altogether in UPSC CSE preparation. That has to be कि UPSC का mood का नहीं पता. Although there are protests and some issues going on, and they hold ground also because पर्सनली अच्छा तो नहीं हुआ. ठीक है, यूपीएससी ने 10th का बोल के पता नहीं क्या क्या पूछा है. बट यार वही है ना कि एवरीथिंग इज देयर एज पर द व्हाट यू से शासन ऑफ यूपीएससी. सो जो वो बोलेगा वही अभी सत्य है और कुछ सत्य है ही नहीं, राइट? So that is where you need to give that with heavy heart. You have to focus upon CSET क्योंकि रिस्क नहीं ले सकते. रिस्क का मतलब है पूरा 1 साल, है ना, वो नहीं कर सकते. So that is where you will write the foundation like CSET. If you want to join anywhere else you go, but be careful on 2 things. And in our last CSET का course we reiterated it again and again that please don't be dependent on any lecturer on any foundation course which is formula oriented. People are teaching since years since years for the CSET, and they are not changing themselves as per the demand of the UPSC. They are keep on taking the lectures upon those formulas. Sheet बनी पड़ी है, formula बने पड़े हैं, class ले रहे हैं. Please don't fall in that trap. If you want to do the CSET, do it from the basics. थोड़ी मेहनत लगेगी, थोड़ी इरिटेशन होगी, but exam clear होगा. ठीक है. So that is it for the CSET, and don't go for the tricks and traps and all those nonsense, right? Optional paper, very important if you want to clear the exam. There are 3 E's, right? Elective, optional, that means optional, then essay and ethics. And those are the low hanging fruits. Ethics में भी 120 score करना is not tough. Essay 140 तक जाता है. The most important element where you can get the decent ROI. And I will be taking the lectures of essay for all the foundation batch students, and believe me, I will make sure that you are scoring at least 120. ठीक है, rest 140 we will see how that can be done, and that is where your efforts will be included. So essay or ethics are very important along with elective, to get through the mains examination very comfortably. So that is where you need to devise a proper strategy. We can help you in 5 optionals right now. Those are PSIR, Socio, we have material, we have experts, Anthro, Agri, and recently added PAVET. Okay, along with this we are coming up with geography also, but this is in the pipeline. Although we are ready with the material, but we are devising or we are working upon the classes. Okay, so that was it from my side on the front of sources. Now let's last component of your daily schedule. That sir, what schedule we should follow? Lectures करें, GS करें, CSET करें, optional करें, दिन में करें, रात में करें, कब करें? ठीक है. So that is where I will be helping you with a very simple and very plain mantra. बिल्कुल टेंशन नहीं लेनी. Simple, बहुत simple, और इतना plain that it will make you sense. If you are having your lunch, let's say at 2 p.m, बिफोर योर लंच टाइम अंटिल यू आर वेकिंग अप, उठ रहे हैं उससे लंच तक, यू विल बी गिविंग द एंटायर टाइम. आप उठ ही रहे हैं 1 बजे तो वो सेंस नहीं बनाता, ठीक है. आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट यू आर वेकिंग अप एट 7 AM. सो I'm having that assumption. Don't come to me सर, आपने बोला था मैं 1 बजे तो उठता ही हूँ, 2 बजे तक सिर्फ GS पढ़ूंगा, उसके बाद सुबह 3 बजे तक जो आप बता रहे हो वो पढ़ूंगा. वैसे नहीं होता. In this time you will be reading or studying or revising or practicing your GS. This much time you will give to GS. Now post that time you will have a power nap. Power nap समझते हैं, 30 मिनट आप सो लीजिए, एकदम फ्रेश हो जाएंगे. That you will do. And post that the entire time you will be devoting to your optional subject. This is very important. This is what many people miss. ऑप्शनल तैयारी नहीं है, ऑप्शनल सोचा नहीं है, ऑप्शनल प्रीलिम्स के बाद कर लेंगे, ये होता है. सर एक चीज समझिए, अभी ना द टीम विच यू गॉट थ्रू दिस फाउंडेशन कोर्स इज हाईली डेडिकेटेड, एंड इफ यू आर मिसिंग दिस चांस बाय एनी रीजन, फिर आप गलत कर रहे हैं. यू कांट मिस दिस आउट. ट्राई टू गिव योर बेस्ट. अपना बेस्ट दीजिए, हम अपना बेस्ट दे रहे हैं, दैट मे रियली ब्रिंग आउट द बेस्ट रिजल्ट्स. सो राइट नाउ यू कांट मिस दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. आपने अगर इस फाउंडेशन कोर्स में रजिस्ट्रेशन ले लिया, यू कांट मिस द अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ नॉट गेटिंग थ्रू 2024 वाला अटेम्प्ट. इफ यू हैव दैट इंटेंसिटी, वी विल इंश्योर दैट यू आर गेटिंग इट थ्रू. हाँ, सो इन द सेकेंड हाफ ऑप्शनल को ही देना है, फर्स्ट हाफ आपको जीएस को देना है. दैट शुड बी योर डेली शेड्यूल. 2 बातें ऐड करूंगा. फर्स्ट थिंग इज, if you want to make the schedule of tomorrow, you will do it 1 day in advance. आप रात में सोने से पहले कल के क्या पढ़ना है उसको एक डायरी में लिख के सोएंगे, and all the elements which you will be reading the next day, you will keep those on your table, study desk. First thing. Second thing is, you will bring a stopwatch जिसको यूज करके you will be calculating your effective study hours on daily basis. That is it, and that will do the wonders. टोटल दिन में कितनी इफेक्टिवली पढ़ाई की. अब इंटरव्यू होगा यूपीएससी सीएससी रिजल्ट के बाद तो बोल दोगे 16 घंटा पढ़े, लेकिन वॉच पे देखो अब इफेक्टिव कितना पढ़ रहे हो. अगर खाना खाने के लिए जा रहे हो ना, वॉच बंद करके जाना. पढ़ नहीं रहा हूँ मैं, चाय पीने जा रहे हो, वॉच बंद करके जाना, फिर देखना कैसे वो 9 घंटे निकल के आता है 16 घंटे पढ़ोगे तो. दैट इज हाउ यू विल यूज द वॉच, एंड दैट इज वेयर आई हैव डन माई जॉब, and I think I've done it very decently. If you like the session, please like it in the YouTube wala section also if you're watching it there, and do let me know in the comment section if you have any doubt. And if you are there in the foundation batch, you have my personal number. Not regularly I would say, but on ad hoc basis on जब भी ज़्यादा परेशान है, कुछ चीज़ ज़्यादा दिक्कत कर रही है, try to reach out to me. Okay, thank you. See you.